Open your phone right now. Check gold prices. Not check the S&P 500. Check Nasdaq. Check the US dollar index. Did you notice something? Gold is going up. Everything else related to gold is bleeding. This is not a coincidence. This is not a news cycle. This is called a capital rotation event. And it happens once every 30 to 40 years. 1930s, 1970s, 2002 or up 2026. And the last time this happened, gold went up 2000%, 2000%. The people who understood it early, they didn't just survive, they won. तो आज मैं तुम्हें वो same playbook देने वाला हूँ. Stay with me. So before we get into what to buy and what to sell, you need to understand why this is happening. Think of it like physics. There are two forces controlling money at all times. Force 1, macro. This is the big picture gravity. Sovereign debt, geopolitical shifts, central bank policy. This force moves money over years and decades, slowly but powerfully, like gravity pulling a planet. And the force 2, technical. This is a short-term chaos. Moving averages, support levels, traders reacting to headlines. This force is unpredictable, quantum level noise. Right now, the macro force is pulling capital towards gold with full strength. And why? Because governments globally, America, Japan, Europe, have borrowed so much money that their economies literally cannot grow fast enough to pay it back. Debt is outgrowing GDP. And when that happens historically, smart money does one thing. It leaves paper assets and moves into neutral, hard assets. Gold is the most neutral hard assets on the planet. No country controls it. No government can print more of it. It doesn't have a CEO who can mess up. It just stores value. और जब सिस्टम पे स्ट्रेस आता है गोल्ड को ट्रस्ट मिलता है. कैपिटल रोटेशन इवेंट्स टिपिकली लास्ट 5 to 10 years. ये एक क्वार्टर का गेम नहीं है. दिस इज अ डेकेड लॉन्ग शिफ्ट एंड द एविडेंस इट इज हाइडिंग इन प्लेन साइट. राइट नाउ एवरी मेजर इंडेक्स इज इन द रेड रिलेटेड टू गोल्ड. S&P 500 losing to gold, Nasdaq losing to gold, US dollar losing to gold. मतलब नॉमिनल में मार्केट्स थोड़ा ऊपर भी जा रहे हैं बट गोल्ड इज राइजिंग फास्टर एंड द रियल रिटर्न्स नेगेटिव. 3 times in modern history that has played out. 1930s, post stock market crash, gold was the only thing that held value while everything else collapsed. 1970s, inflation, oil shocks, political chaos, gold rose 2000% in that decade and the stock market basically flat in real term. And then 2002, dot-com bust, tech stocks lost 80%, gold quietly started one of its biggest bull runs. And every single time the pattern is the same. System comes under stress, debt becomes unsustainable, smart money rotates into hard assets. And ये rotation अभी चल रहा है. Hedge funds knows it, central banks knows it. China has been buying gold aggressively for the last 2 years straight. Russia, India, Turkey सब accumulate कर रहे हैं. And the question is, do you know it? यहाँ एक बहुत dangerous trap है, especially for the Indian middle class investor. Maybe your mutual fund gave you 12% last year. Looks great on paper, right? But here is the real question. What did your actual cost of living increase by? Groceries, rent, school fees, medical, petrol. If real inflation is running at 13 or 14%, and for most Indian households, it genuinely is your so-called 12% return is actually minus 1 or 2% in purchasing power. You went up nominally, you went down in reality. This is exactly what happens in a capital rotation event. Markets can still go up, the numbers can still look good. But if gold is rising faster than your portfolio, you are losing the game without realizing it. Nominal gains feels like winning. Real losses stays hidden. Until one day, you realize your money can buy significantly less than it could 5 years ago. इसलिए hard assets matters. Not because gold is exciting. It is actually boring. But because in a broken system, boring is the best hedge. So now let's talk about Bitcoin. Because I know many of you are holding it. And the macro force supports Bitcoin. Long term, it is a hard asset. Fixed supply, decentralized, scarcity built into the code. But the technical picture right now, that is not clean. Here is the indicator that matters, the 50-week moving average. Historically, every time Bitcoin closes below this level, it has a reckoning with its 200-week moving average, which sits significantly lower. We are talking $37,000 to $38,000 range. Previous post-halving cycles में Bitcoin ने 70 to 80% peak से drop किया है. अगर ये cycle same pattern follow करता है, and it might not, but if it does, the potential bottom window is May to October this year. And एक और फैक्टर, बिटकॉइन इज नाउ हेवीली फाइनेंशियलाइज्ड. ETFs, डेरिवेटिव्स, ऑप्शन मार्केट्स, यानी वो अभी प्योरली स्कैरसिटी पे ट्रेड नहीं कर रहा है. इट इज ट्रेडिंग लाइक अ फाइनेंशियल इंस्ट्रूमेंट दैट लार्ज प्लेयर्स कैन पुश अराउंड. एंड द लॉन्ग टर्म, आई एम नॉट बियरिश, बट राइट नाउ गोल्ड इज विनिंग दिस रेस. बिटकॉइन इज स्टिल इन अ करेक्टिव फेज. ओके, सो व्हाट डू यू एक्चुअली डू? स्टेप 1, एलिमिनेट बैड डेट. अगर तुम्हारे पास लिवरेज प्रॉपर्टी है, अ रेंटल दैट इज बेयरली ब्रेक इवन और वर्स, कैश फ्लो नेगेटिव, कंसिडर सेलिंग. In a rotation event, property in real terms typically underperforms. Cash is temporarily your friend. Liquidity matters more than most people think right now. And the step 2, restructure your portfolio. Here is a framework that makes sense in this environment. Gold and silver, 30 to 35%. This is your core rotation play. Index funds like Nifty 50 or S&P 500, 20 to 25%. For nominal growth, dividend stocks 15 to 20%. They generate income even in sideways market. Bitcoin 10 to 15%. Long-term asymmetrical bet. But size it for volatility. Cash 10 to 15% क्योंकि opportunities आती हैं और तुम्हारे पास powder होना चाहिए. Step 3. DCA. No lump sum. Rotation events are full of fake breakdowns and fake breakouts. Market एक दिन में 5% गिरता है, लगता है सब खत्म. अगले दिन 4% ऊपर. यही noise है. The way you survive noise, you don't time it. You schedule it. Every month, same amount, same assets. Dollar cost averaging is boring, but it also works. And the step 4, play the long term game. This is a 5 to 10 year process. एक क्वार्टर के न्यूज साइकिल के लिए अपनी decade long strategy मत बदलो. And here is the thing nobody tells you. By the time this shows up on mainstream medias, जब तक Z Business और CNBC आवाज इसको प्राइम टाइम में डालेंगे, the people who acted early will already be positioned. The trade will be crowded. The easy money will be gone. The wealth rotation has already started. ये announcement नहीं आता है, ये silently होता है. In the data, in the charts, in what central banks are quietly doing. You now have the same framework that large money managers are using. Gold accumulate, debt reduce, DCA stay consistent, long term always. And if you like this video, subscribe करो. Next video में I am breaking down specifically which gold instrument makes the most sense for Indian investors. SGBs, gold ETFs, digital gold, physical. सब कंपेयर करेंगे विद एक्चुअल नंबर्स. तब तक अपने पैसे को सीरियसली लो क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन जरूर ले रहा है.